Good morning, Magic. I'm Gavin Verhey from Wizards of the Coast, and Kaldheim has a brand new mechanic, Foretell. A Foretell card you can set aside face down for later and cast at a reduced mana cost. And Foretell has a bit of fun trivia associated with it, and today I thought I'd tell you all about it. Back when I was a player, before I came to work at Wizards, there was a thought in the back of my head that always nagged at me. Just how much design space really is there in Magic? Are we ever going to run out of ideas? And so I went in and I was curious to see if my question would be answered. And in my first week, it absolutely was. There are ideas that were pitched in the first week of me being there that still have not come out for mechanics and set themes that would be totally awesome when we finally decide to do them. For example, in my first few weeks at Wizards, nearly 10 years ago now, I can't believe it's been that long, I was part of a conversation about doing static abilities on Planeswalkers and how we should wait until the time is right. And we only just got those with War of the Spark. Now I bring this up because of Foretell. Now you all are seeing Foretell for the first time in Kaldheim, which makes total sense. Why would you have seen it earlier? But for me, I saw Foretell by a different name for the first time all the way back in Amonkhet. It was called Plot, and it was pitched by Ethan Fleischer and Andrew Veen. Nicol Bolas was doing all kinds of schemes, and well, it made a lot of sense for him to be plotting. But it didn't quite work out in that set, and so it was set aside for a rainy day. Appropriately thematic, I guess. Now that implementation was extremely close to what you see in Kaldheim, but it turns out years earlier, long before I ever got to the building, Mark Rosewater was working on a mechanic called Layaway, inspired by something from the Star Wars TCG that also was very much like how Foretell turned out. One of the big game design lessons that I have learned working on Magic at Wizards for so long is don't force your mechanics. When you have a cool idea, it's really tempting to try and put it into the next thing you can. But ultimately, it's usually better to wait until the time is right for that exact mechanic. You will eventually find the right place for it. It didn't work out with Layaway, it didn't work out with Plot, but when Kaldheim rolled around, we had the perfect mechanic in our back pocket. It is an excellent flavor fit and function fit for what the set is trying to do, and I'm so glad we kept it for exactly the right time. And that's a bit of fun trivia about both Foretell and Magic design. If you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments down below. I'll talk with you again on Monday. And in the meantime, may you find exactly the right place for that idea you had long ago. You got this.
The color intensity really mattered too. You can see some red frames here. We wanted to make sure we weren't diluting our colors. We wanted to make sure it was still that distinguishable red. And then the bottom are actually from the Swamp Basic lands. We didn't know what type of texture we wanted to apply to those because most snow cards don't have that mana symbol there, so we got to treat those a little differently.